Hello everybody and welcome to Tiger Tales The Lost Stories, a place where you'll find stories and fanfictions written and read to you by host, me, Tiger. All the stories on this YouTube channel are in the first person perspective, and I do try to have some fun with the fanfictions and stories on this channel, trying to mix up a few things. Welcome back to the Colour Matrix. If you don't know what this story is, basically I have a character called Ace, who uses a machine called the Colour Matrix, where he scrolls through the multiverses, picks a universe, and then he can fall asleep inside of a machine, and his soul will be transferred to that universe versions of himself, and he can stay in it for 8 hours. The best way to compare it is to things like James Cameron's Avatar movie, and Sword Art Online, maybe The Matrix, that sort of stuff. If that's your cup of tea, then stick around because you might enjoy this story. Today, we're diving back into a new universe, something I haven't yet explored, but do plan to explore more so. So let's dive in with the Colour Matrix, World 5, Kankuro's Apprentice. I sat there scrolling through the universe catalogue, when I found several universes under the bright orange section. There was 4 of them, and I was intrigued as their energy signature were almost identical to one another. So I picked one of the 4 by closing my eyes and doing eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Then I clicked on it.
Yes, sir. Here is a universe where it's based in a pre-technology time, where ninjas rule the world in villages across the globe. They also wield extraordinary abilities, powered by an energy known as chakra, which fuels all living things.
Daisy, do your thing, I ordered. Daisy told me. Oh, I see. So I'm a ninja, huh? Cool, I said.
Yes, sir. The version of you in this universe hails from the village hidden in the sand. You're a ninja with the ability to control a wooden puppet built for combat with chakra strings. Your sensei is a world-respected puppet master ninja.
Daisy explained. I already like it. Load it in, I ordered. Daisy loaded the universe into the Colour Matrix as I took off my shirt. I laid on the bed as the needles sank into my fingertips and the back of my neck. I drifted off into the darkness as Daisy read me my vital signs. I woke up and I climbed out of bed. I put on my gear and strapped my headband to my head. I grabbed my puppet, which was wrapped up in bandages, and placed it on my back. Then I walked out of my house. The sand blew up as the wind kicked up a breeze. I made my way through the town until I saw the Kazekage stood there looking rather displeased. Lord Kazekage, why do you look so troubled? I asked him. Ace, good morning. Please, I did not want to trouble you, Lord Kazekage told me. I followed his gaze, and it led straight down the village, straight through to the village's entrance. Sir, please, if something's bothering you, I pestered. My sister went to go see Shikamaru in the Leaf Village, so they could spend time together before she gave birth. My brother decided to escort her. They were meant to arrive home late last night, but no one has seen them, Lord Kazekage muttered. Why don't I go and take the trail to the Leaf Village? If I can find Tomorrow Kankuro Sensei, I can let you know, I suggested. If you're sure, Ace, Lord Kazekage said. Of course, sir, I said with a smile. I then bowed to him, then I walked off and headed to the entrance. I left the hidden sand village, and I headed down the trail that led to the village hidden in the leaves. I walked for a little while, then I found 2 dead ninjas sporting the hidden sand village's headband. I bent down and checked on them. They had markings across their skin. Their skin had purple tinge to it. They were poisoned, I muttered. Then I continued my way down where they were dragged through the dirt, and I found signs of a fight. I found a few kunai stabbed into trees and the ground. The grass and trees were painted with scorch marks. Something happened here, I said again. Then I bolted down the trail more so, moving as fast as I could. Finally, I found Tamari laying on the floor, trying to pull herself up, trying to use one hand to support her pregnant stomach. I jumped over and landed in front of her. Tamari, I muttered. Ace, what are you doing here? She panted. Lord Kazekage was expecting you home late hours, and you didn't come back, so he's worried, I explained. Of course Gara would send you, Tamari sighed. Actually, I kind of offered, I replied. Kankuro ran off fighting the attackers. He's been gone for a little while. Tamari grunted. I offered my hand and I pulled her to her feet, and then she leant against a tree. Which way? I asked her. She pointed down the left side of the trail. You going to be okay? I asked her softly. Yeah, go get my brother. She grunted with a lack of breath. I nodded and bolted off, leaving Tamari there, and I ran deeper into the forest. The sounds of explosions quickly filled the air. I moved as fast as I could. I jumped up and started bouncing through the trees. I then found Kankuro-sensei fighting 3 ninjas. He had one of the puppets, which he was controlling by his chakra strings, which extended from his fingertips. I jumped off the trees and I landed next to Kankuro-sensei. Ace, what are you doing here? Kankuro asked. With a quick scan, I could tell he was battle-worn. He seemed out of breath and very tired. I came to help you, Sensei. Now shut up and back off. I got this. I barked. Kankuro-sensei slowly nodded his head. Then he retracted his chakra strings and took several steps back. I then pulled my puppet off my back and unraveled the bandages. 2 of you won't change the fact that he is almost dead. One rogue ninja chuckled. I held out my hand and my chakra strings extended from my fingertips and latched onto the wooden puppet in front of me, and it opened up revealing the ape puppet. It was a humanoid, lanky puppet with messy brown hair, and it stood there ready for battle. No different to that loser, another ninja barked. I waved my hand and wiggled my fingers, making my puppet move. Then the puppet jumped up into the air, and the other 3 ninjas started throwing shurikens at my puppet. I then made the puppet aim both its palms out, and its palms opened and shot several heavy-weighted steel orbs, which flew and crashed around the 3 ninjas. Then it landed. 1 ninja started running at me. Kill the ninja! It's simple! He barked as he ran at me. I pulled my hand quick and wriggled my 2 middle fingers and my thumb, and the puppet held out an arm. 1 hand folded back into itself and a blade extended from where the hand was. The puppet ran at the ninja, and the puppet and the ninja exchanged blows. The ninja blocked the blade strike with a kunai, then with a quick flick of the wrist, the puppet tripped the ninja over, and the blade stabbed into the ninja's neck, killing him. Then the other 2 ninjas prepared themselves. The second one jumped up and weaved together a few hand signs, and then inhaled deeply as he blew a thin, quick burst of water that shot out. I managed to pull the puppet back as it dodged the attack. Then I started to move my hand like a madman. The ape puppet aimed its head up, and its mouth opened and shot a glass veil into the air. It flew over the ninja's head and shattered, raining oil all over them. Then the puppet aimed its other hand, and its hand folded back, and then it shot a rope dart. It flew and hit the ninja in the shoulder. The puppet then yanked the ninja towards him out of the air, and then I flexed my thumb 3 times, and then there was a spark, and the rope ignited, and the flame travelled up the rope, and due to the ninja now being drenched in oil, he caught fire too. The blade extracted back into its arm, and its hand returned. Then the puppet jumped up and threw its foot out. 2 spikes popped out of its foot, and it kicked the ninja in the chest, penetrating the ninja's lungs. He dropped to the floor and let out the flames take him. The puppet folded everything back into its slots, returning back to its normal form. The man dying in the flames. Then I turned to the 3rd and last ninja, who had not moved. He just stood there waiting. Then suddenly, he jumped out of his skin as he turned around and saw me stood there. He turned back around and to see my sand clone controlling the puppet. He turned to face me and looked at me with shock and confusion. How did you, he started. Get behind you, I grinned. The ninja then nodded. One thing I can do that my sensei can't. My chakra strings can latch onto any other thing that has chakra, and it extends my reach. I can't control anything other than my puppets, but I can latch onto other stuff that has a chakra network, like trees and plants. You happen to stand in a forest? I can also carry a veil of sand with me, no matter where I go, so I can make sand clones, I said, nodding towards my clone standing there. You're good, he sneered. Then he threw a punch. I managed to catch it. Then I headbutted him. I then weaved my hands together, stringing together a few hand signs. Lightning style! Perfect storm shot! I barked. Then I aimed my hand and a burst of lightning shot out of my hand and hit a metal orb that my puppet dropped before. The lightning bounced off the orb and struck the ninja. Then the lightning trailed off of him and hit another metal orb. This was repeated over and over again, the lightning bouncing off the multiple orbs till the ninja dropped down to his knees. His headband smoking, he then fell backwards. I chuckled when, walking over to my clone, it turned back into a pile of sand, and my puppet folded back onto itself. I grabbed the bandages, wrapped up my puppet. Kankuro-sensei did the same with his. Thank you, Ace. You saved me back there. And my sister. Kankuro-sensei muttered. No problem, Sensei. Anytime. I told him. I placed my puppet back on my back, then we headed back and found Tamari, waddling down the path. We caught up to her quick, and Tamari punched Kankuro sense in the arm. "You're lucky Ace showed up," Tamari barked. Then we carried on walking and headed back to the village in the sand. Then suddenly everything went dark. I woke up and the needles extracted themselves. I sat up and climbed out of bed. I put my shirt back on.
Sir, welcome back. Our 8 hours was equivalent to 55 minutes in that universe.
Daisy told me. "Thanks," I replied.
How do you feel, sir?
Daisy asked. "Not bad, honestly," I told her with a grin. I sat down at the Colour Matrix universe catalogue once again. I looked at the other 3 universes that were extremely similar to the one I was just in. "Daisy, can you highlight these? I want to try and investigate all 4 of these universes. Some other time, though," I asked her.
Consider it done, sir.
Daisy replied. "Thanks," I grinned. Then I watched the universe that I was just in. It turned out that the version of me helped Tamari get into the hospital, as by the time they got back to the Hidden Sand village, she was in labour. I grinned at the sight. And there you have it, guys. Welcome back to the Colour Matrix's weird, wacky stuff if you've been here before. If not, then welcome, and I really hope you enjoyed this story. There is actually going to be a second version of the Colour Matrix on the Game Over channel because I wanted to separate the gaming universes, which I've nicknamed Data Universes. So be look out for Colour Matrix on the Game Over channel. That being said, a huge shout out to A-Crown, who has the Author's Crown YouTube channel, which he uploads his own stories at. He's a huge help to the Colour Matrix, and of course a big shout out to Cosplay267, Mark the Corner Stranger, the Zero Hero podcast, and If You Give a Dad a podcast. Check out Tiger Tales, Game Over, and Tiger Tales The Mysterious Origins. There are 4 Tiger Tales channels, including this one, and each one hosts their own stories and fan fictions, and I do a lot of weird and wacky stuff between all of them. I'm sure you'll find something that tickles your fancy. That being said, don't forget to get subscribed to this channel if you haven't already. More Colour Matrix coming really soon. And that being said, I shall see you guys soon.